Hey guys, welcome back to the YouTube channel. Now, one of the major issues many immigrants are facing right now in 2025 when it comes to visa sponsorship is the fact that most employers are becoming very reluctant to sponsor individuals looking for visa sponsorship. Now, this is not just one scenario. We've had four different situations like this happen in the last 2 months. Now, one of the major things most of the employers are saying right now, especially for those who are currently on the post-study work visa, is that they want the applicant or the person who just got a job offer with them to stay on the post-study work visa while working with them, and they are hoping to talk about or have conversation about sponsorship until 3 months before their current visa expires. And this is worrisome because the four different individuals I've had conversation with in the last couple of weeks had exactly similar experience with completely different employers, and we're able to resolve one or two of those issues, while the other two people are currently in a dilemma because their current visa is going to expire and the employer is saying something entirely different from what they discussed when they got the offer close to about 1 year ago. So if you're currently on the post-study visa, you're looking for visa sponsorship, you sure don't want to stick to watch this video to the end. And if you're coming across this channel for the first time, do want to hit on the subscribe button to join the amazing growing family. And my fellow subscribers, thank you guys for being here. I really do appreciate you guys. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. One of the major issues immigrants are facing right now is not even landing a job. I mean, so many people are still struggling to get in a professional job of their choice. However, most people have been able to cross this particular hurdle of trying to get a job. Many people are actually even getting multiple job offer. But the major situation or the major issue right now is getting visa sponsorship. I mean, there's so many people who are currently on a job right now. So I'm going to give you a very practical scenario. So there was this particular individual that wanted to get into project management. I think we had our first conversation back in 2023, and we were able to go through all of the process, ensuring that she was able to get the right skills. Even at some point, she had to enroll for Prince 2 certification, and we got all of those things sorted, and then she started applying again. Now, what happened was early 2024, I think around February, she was able to get a job interview invite, and we jumped on the call back in February, prepared for the interview, and she was able to eventually land a job. So what happened was that at the point of contract, drafting, and after she got the offer letter, one of the conversations she had with the employer was that she's currently on the postal work visa. However, the postal work visa is going to expire May 2025, and she would need a visa sponsorship now or later in the future. Now, the employer made a promise at that particular point that at the moment, because of the fact that the funding of the budget for our role didn't include sponsorship. However, by the start of the new financial year, they will be able to include, some funding to actually sponsor her, for her to be able to get a certificate of sponsorship and all of those interesting things. And it was really exciting when we heard that from the employer at that particular time. And what happened was, here in the UK, the financial year starts from April for most organizations. Now, for our own company, they also start their financial year in April. So by April of last year, she went back to the employer that, oh, you mentioned that you're going to think of getting the budget in for this year, for her to be able to get sponsorship and, all of the whole home office application and all. Now, she got an excuse back then that, oh, because it was very close to the financial year when she resumed, and business planning was done from October the previous year, which was 2023, that they were unable to include it in this particular financial year, that they actually meant the financial year starting in 2025, which is this year. Now, well, of course, because she needed the job, she took up the job role. And the only funniest thing was that towards the end of 2024, she even got a promotion. So it means that she's doing very well, fantastic well on the job. She has been able to build a lot of capacity and all of those interesting stuff. Now, what happened was, now a few weeks ago, she went back to the employer that, oh, a post visa is going to expire in the next 3 months, and now that the promise is now that she would be able to get sponsorship with the budget for the new financial year starting April 2025. So she went back to her line manager to talk about the fact that, okay, so the new financial year is starting April 2025. What is the update about, job role getting funding so that she can actually apply for the COS and, all of those interesting stuff. Now, what happened was she would go through the game by the line manager. Now, this time around, she now has a new line manager, not the same line manager that was on the roll when she, got, the first offer before she got the promotion. Now, what happened was that this line manager is now saying this is an entirely new information to him, and he had no idea about, this whole funding, sponsorship conversation at all. Now, it means that all of the conversation she has been having with them since 2024, now she's back to square one to start the whole conversation from the scratch again. Now, the bottom line basically is that now there is no certainty. I mean, based on the last question we had 3 days ago, there's no certainty that she will be getting sponsored, and her visa is going to expire by May 2025. Now she's in a dilemma. She's got a good job, very good pay. However, the conversation about sponsorship is still not solidified. And this is what I tell people. And this particular scenario I just talked about happened to 3 other individuals I know personally that I spoke with just this year, 2025. And when we come on YouTube to talk about things about, people trying to give right information and making sure people don't make the same mistake other people are making, it's not because we just love to, it's just because we think there are so many people making certain mistakes and want other people to be aware of those mistakes. Now, if you're currently on a job and your employer is promising you sponsorship, please, if this promise is not written in a legal document, please do to start that job, start looking for another job. Because anything they tell you verbally that is not written and signed in a legal document can be changed. And the way to get in a fix or you get stuck, the employer is definitely going to recruit someone else for that your job role, and you're going to be in a very, very difficult scenario. A couple of months ago, I had a conversation with a lady that, was promised the same sponsorship, and she was doing a very fantastic job. I mean, she was a digital consultant and she was doing really, really well. Now, because this employer didn't sponsor, eventually she had to go back to get a care visa, which she's currently on right now. So imagine someone working as a digital consultant, but because your sponsor or your employer refused to sponsor or they didn't want to sponsor, she had to, take a care visa, and now she's currently working as a carer, which is quite sad because I mean the job role she has or she had at that time was definitely the dream or the desire of any individual who's trying to get into digital consultancy. But anyway, but the point basically is if you're currently on the job and your employer is promising you that they will sponsor you towards the end of your postgraduate visa, please start looking for another job because you don't want to find yourself in a situation whereby you get stuck and you've got nowhere to go. Now, this particular individual I talked about our situation at the moment. Now, while trying to still persuade the employer, talking to HR, having back and forth email trail, she's also looking for an health and care visa sponsorship on the side as a backup plan, just in case if the current employer is still unable to sponsor, she can still have the health and care visa to fall back on. Imagine someone working as a senior project manager now having to go back to working as a carer, which is really sad because I mean the job has so much flexibility which she wouldn't get if she decided to go back to working as an healthcare assistant. So this is really important. Please try to make sure you have backup plans if your current employer have not given you any legal documents to actually, confirm their promise to sponsor you at a particular or stipulated time, please. There's so many people getting stuck in situations like this, and it's important to create this awareness so that you can start making plans. And many employers now, even though they've got a license, they're becoming extremely reluctant to sponsor for different reasons. I mean, the cost of sponsoring an individual is skyrocketing, and also there are a lot of things that comes with sponsorship for employers which many of them are not willing to kind of take chances on people willing for sponsorship. Now many of the roles that used to have sponsorship now they for other reasons like increase in salary threshold requirements, they're no longer sponsoring for the role. I remember a particular job I got back in 2024, same role, same organization. I saw that a couple of days ago, I saw the same role was pushed out, even though they sponsored me when I was on the role at that particular time. Now, they clearly wrote it on the job advert that there's no sponsorship for that role. And that was the same role I was sponsored, for back in 2024. So it's really, really important for you to make sure that, you have backup plan and look out more for organizations that have got a license to sponsor and are willing and capable to actually sponsor. So if you're currently a visa, student visa, or you're in the health and care visa looking to get into another skilled worker visa, you've got any question around getting sponsored role, employers to target, you sure want to put those questions in the comment section. And if you find this video informative or resourceful, do it to hit on the like button and also click on the red subscribe button if you're coming across this channel for the very first time. So this will be the end of this video, and I'll sure see you guys in my next video. Thank you.